Hello, and welcome to reCapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at reCapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Hello, Ashley.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I am ready to see if my holiday spirit is going to kick in. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
I know. I'm actually right there with you. And I have Elf on the Shelf to do every day.
Aw, you guys do Elf on a Shelf?
Absolutely. It was so funny because David and we actually went on a date. Shout out to us. Had a babysitter and everything.
Nice.
And with like everything that went on, when Sunday comes around, I was like, Holly didn't move. We're like, what? Oh, what? How? And then she ended up moving midday. So, anyway.
I love it. Well, we are a little over a week away from Christmas. We are a week away from my birthday.
Yes.
So, it's coming. The feelings are coming. I believe it.
I'm happy that we're here. I'm happy that we're in one piece and we get a chance to talk. Yes. And we get a chance to talk about this throwback film while you were sleeping.
Which
Ashley,
you had to tell me. I didn't even remember this was set during the holidays. Didn't remember at all.
It's a bit of a holiday movie.
This is our second recap in a row set in Chicago.
Yes, that's so funny. Oh my god!
Shout out to Chi-Town. Mm-hmm.
So it's so funny because I remember seeing this movie years ago. I remember enjoying it. And so when I suggested it for the recap, I was assuming that this was New York. I was like, oh, I forget. Chicago. got the
mustard. The mustard only on the hot dog was the giveaway. they are a no ketchup on a hot dog town. Did you hear Obama's diatribe about ketchup?
He said ketchup is for children.
Is for children. I said, Obama, I think this is the biggest disagreement you and I have ever had.
Oh, I don't hate it. I get it. I
don't.
Just started eating ketchup actually as an adult. I did not care for it as a kid. I was a mustard only kind of gal. And then like if it's like a real, because my family's done hot dogs and things, mustard with some grilled onions. Oh, amazing.
I gotta tell y'all, ketchup and mustard for me are damn near like peanut butter and jelly. Like I can't, like, unless it's a pretzel. That's really the only thing I can think of that I eat that I only want mustard on, outside of maybe like a ham sandwich or something. But even then, like, ketchup and mustard go hard together for me.
I can do ketchup and mustard, but it's this real weird ratio where I need more mustard than ketchup.
All right. So you used to do ketchup with fries or?
No, I just started doing it more recently. Ketchup and fries. So yeah.
Got it.
And I think part of it was because growing up, my sister loved ketchup so much that I was like, you can have it. You know what I mean? Like it is all you.
Well, that's me with hot sauce, baby. One of my hot takes, if I ever go on Subway hot takes, is that hot sauce is the king of condiments. Anyway.
Oh, that's so funny. While you were sleeping, came out April 21st, 1995. We were babes. It's an hour and 43 minutes, rated PG. It's a romance comedy. So here's a quick summary. Lonely transit worker Lucy pulls her longtime crush Peter, which is funny because his real life name is also Peter, from the path of an oncoming train. At the hospital, doctors report that he is in a coma, and a misplaced comment from Lucy causes Peter's family to assume that she is his fiance. When Lucy doesn't correct them, they take her into their home in confidence. Things get even more complicated when she finds herself falling for Peter's sheepish brother, Jack. All right, here's the cast. Sandra Bullock as Lucy, Bill Pullman as Jack, Peter Gallagher as Peter. Rotten Tomatoes gave this film 81%. Critics 79%, audience score, and Google users 83%. What's your grade for While You Were Sleeping?
You know what? I haven't even thought about a grade for it. So it's definitely, as you put it last week so well, like a warm soup type of movie. Like there's some comfort to it, there's some nostalgia to it. It's the holiday season on the film, so you feel some of those feelings, family dynamics, all of that just kind of makes it a little warm and fuzzy. So, for that reason and my love of Sandra Bullock, I'd put it in like the B minus range. And I also just had a revelation while you were talking about this film. This walked so that the proposal could run, because it's a similar feeling premise a little bit that I can speak to a little bit more when we get into it, in terms of like her
the proposal
coming, but it's about how she's coming into like a family dynamic.
Oh, yes.
And how she is.
Yes.
And how she gravitates to that. Very different characters. But it's that same feeling of how she is ingratiated into that other person's family dynamic.
Yes, it has an element of what they call found family for sure.
Yeah.
I love it. I give it an A minus, just because I've always enjoyed this film. It's a comfort watch for me, and watching it for the recap did not disappoint. So let's go ahead and get into our spoiler alert. So while I was watching this film, when I had the idea for the film, I was like, oh, this is a Christmas movie. And it's not so blatant of a Christmas movie, but it is. The holiday season does play like a significant role, especially as Lucy finds her way in Peter's family's, I should call it, grass. But we get two holidays out of this movie, Ashley. We get both Christmas and New Year's. So I was like, oh, this works for what we try to do for this time of year. I also was really laughing at myself. So in the same conversation that we had last week, we were talking about mergers, and the beginning of this film has Hollywood Pictures. And I'm like, whew, I haven't seen that in a minute.
There was a clip on Instagram of a guy who said, like, by whatever year, here's what you'll see. And it was all these different ones all combined. So it made it like 10 minutes long. You were just looking at like the naming and titling of different companies. We'll see what happens, Delora. We'll see.
I know. What is it? Defunk April 27, 2007. So reason why I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
It's currently in name only under Walt Disney Studios. Wow. Lucy, she is in Chicago. She is a transit worker. She is very dutiful in her job. She's there day to day. She's there even on holidays. And there's this man, this dark-haired prince of a man that she sees from 8:01 to 8:15. Never said a word to this man, but she is in love. I don't know if we've talked about this. I feel like we might have, but do you believe in love at first sight?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You're like, who do I look like?
No, I absolutely believe in lust at first sight for sure, but love takes time. You have no idea who someone is when you see them, let alone even know them for a month, a la Khloe Kardashian and
Gosh,
what's his name?
that man. I don't.
Why am I Lamar Odom?
Lamar.
Yeah, I think the idea of love at first sight is cute in the sense of you can feel pull towards somebody, you can feel chemistry with somebody, and then it grows. But that's not love, right?
Yeah.
That's lust that turns into a connection that can develop into love. So
Mm.
sorry to be so practical. I'm a Capricorn.
Uh, yeah, Lucy, employee of the month. And during the first half of the movie, she talks fondly of her father. And one of his famous quotes is, "Life doesn't always go to plan." And girl, on this, I think it was Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day. Peter out here working, taking the train, and he gets mugged, and they push this man onto the tracks.
Diabolical.
Lucy sees this and immediately jumps on those tracks to see after that man. There was an oncoming train and she saved that man's life. I have to say, I was pretty impressed. Like, shout out to her for, like, you
Quick
know,
thinking, the courage to do it. Yeah.
exactly,
No wonder you
exactly.
thought this was New York, though. That's some New York shit.
I know, right?
For
And then
real.
I'm like, do they have mechanisms to stop a little bit? Because it seemed like it was far away enough for it to have stopped, but
I don't know if you can really see them, though, like where they were, that
because they
they
were
were
so
on the
low.
tracks in time. Yeah, because the
Yeah.
conductor's probably looking like up.
Yep, that's a good point. And dude hit his head really hard on the fall and is in a coma. I was like, man, this escalated quickly.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What I thought was funny was she was like, "Oh, I was going to marry this guy." This nurse takes that and runs with it. I'm like, talk about a case of miscommunication. Honestly, this movie is a series of them, right? This was just the first miscommunication we'll talk about, but obviously it's the biggest one. And his
But as
family
a
comes to
nurse, I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more discerning about who you let come in to see
exactly.
patients.
That is what I am saying because again, she was some random woman off the street. Now,
Did she
yes,
even get her
she's
ID? Like,
that this was the 90s, okay?
right.
We were
This was before TSA. This before a lot of
I
shit
was about to
happened.
say, we used to walk through the airports back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. We
Yeah.
kept our shoes on.
Well, that's back, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Lucy got access, and in her access, the family shows up and be like, "Who are you?" And the lie continues. So Peter has a very lively family. Did any one of his family members stick out to you the most?
The grandma. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. The grandma was sweet and adorable. Again, shout out to Betty White from The Proposal.
You need
it
that
was,
kooky relative, right?
yeah, but also just like, there's something about lovely grandmas. Let's be for real. Like, there's nothing
Mm,
like a grandma who gives you candy and loves on you. And she's a little bit off because she's old and she doesn't care, but you love her
right.
anyway. She's kooky.
Mm,
It's fun. But also, the sister stood out to me because she is not necessarily always this type of character where she's kind of like super nice and all of that. I mean, gossipy, but super nice because she's played characters like, particularly last thing I saw her on was old reruns of Dawson's Creek, and she was a bitch.
ooh.
I mean, she was
Oh.
not, particularly, she was close with Michelle Williams' character in the show, and
Mm,
she was not nice. So I enjoyed just seeing this like younger, sweeter, more innocent version of her.
hmm. Why do you think Lucy felt so connected to Peter, though? Like,
Think he was a dream. You know what I mean? Like, I think you
yeah,
see someone from afar, you find them attractive, you start to envision what their lives must be like. And I think it was just a dream, just a crush. Just like seeing a
yeah.
celebrity or somebody on TV, somebody who's far enough away from you for you to fantasize. about what it would be
Yeah.
like and not deal with the reality.
That's a great call out. That's a great call out. You realize that, yes, Lucy being the employee of the month, working holidays, it's because she lost her mom and they were originally from freaking Indiana. Her and her dad packed up to go to Chicago for some experimental testing and she lost her father. And I was like, this makes me so sad.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad. It makes me also wonder, like, do you think she was wrong for going along with the misunderstanding? Because in some ways it was self-serving because she wanted to know how he was doing, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't push back really hard at all.
Well, Lucy's also supposed to be like unreasonably nice to an extent. So I think that's personality is absolutely part of it. But also,
Mm,
like, you take someone that will, as we'll see throughout the movie, who is lonely
yeah.
and you give them like a super involved, loving, like family dynamic. That's a bit irresistible. Even as I was watching it, I'm like, I have family, but like, I might have held on to this lie too. Like I kind of like y'all. You know what I mean? Like it just they made you feel seen in a
Yeah.
significant way that I thought was really lovely.
I thought it was really beautiful too because they invited her to Christmas and they had gifts for her in the stocking. And
Girl,
ah,
y'all just met
I
this
thought
girl
that
and
was
she
so
got a
sweet.
stocking.
I know, I know. Honestly, it kind of reminded me of my in-laws because like David and I weren't even dating, but he drove me home for Easter and then he drove me back or whatever. But they made me a Easter basket. I was like,
I mean, you can't, part of that, like, you can't take for granted in my mind the way that you make people feel, you know?
yeah,
Even if
yeah,
it's like small gestures, like those
yeah,
things have a big impact on people.
they really do. And to your point, those things weren't expensive. It just was extremely thoughtful.
Thoughtful.
Yeah. Well, he missed the dinner, but Jack came home and meets Lucy. What did you think about this meet cute?
Is that what we're going to call it? Because
It was an interrogation. That's what it was. I felt like I thought it was so interesting that he was just so hyper focused on like, I don't believe none of this. But in some ways, that is his brother, right?
I was going to say
Like,
it makes sense because like his brother knows him probably better than his parents and his
yes.
grandma and his younger sister do. Like they had a
Yes.
dynamic, I'm sure, and like a realness between them that nobody else did. So that does make sense. Like we'll hear throughout the movie, like she's not exactly Peter's type. So if some woman showed up claiming to be my brother's fiance, and I was like, that doesn't that doesn't jive. I'm sure I'd be
Right.
asking questions too. But also the reason why I said would you call it that is because, and we talked about this on many a recap, I don't like love triangles between siblings.
Yeah. You hate
And
it.
so like, that's fucked up because it shouldn't be a meet cute because you're supposedly
And
like this is supposedly
fiance.
your brother's fiance.
Yeah. Great point there. And again, he just seems so hell bent on being like, you're not his type. What is this all about? I, is he stalking her? Like he just somehow just managed to like find her. Like, okay, he first time around, he delivers the couch to Peter's apartment, but he finds out where she lives and he sees her interaction with freaking Joe Jr., who was a hot mess. Hot mess, which led to like she's pregnant. There were so many miscommunications, him misreading how she interacted with Joe Jr., and then him just being completely skeptical of her. The little sister talking about she's pregnant and he's carrying that with him interacting with her as well. To me, I want to know like why was he so invested? Like when do you think he realized like oh boy, uh-oh, I kind of like her.
I think he liked her off jump. if I'm honest.
I think so
Like, I
too.
think he had an interest and an attraction off jump. Now, when did he let himself feel those feelings? Is a good question. I think he was trying to find the holes, maybe to find an excuse to lean
To
into
feel
his
good
feelings
about
more.
himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
But to be fair, also, he was doing all of the investigation that everybody else should have been doing before.
True. Because they had never heard of her. Like, I don't know
Everybody just
her.
was like, all right, cool. Go ahead. Come on to the house. Like, ma'am, where's your ID? Where is proof? Is there a picture of y'all together? I've never heard your name before. Like, again, discernment. If somebody rolled up in the hospital when my brother was
Yeah,
in a coma and was like, yo, I'm engaged to your brother, I'd be like, what's your name? How'd y'all meet?
exactly.
Give me your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever. I need to, do a little bit of a deeper dive. We're definitely investigating, baby. I know it's the 90s, so you didn't have all that, but you would have had something. And Lucy, I mean, they asked her what, one question about prove something, and she had heard the story about him only having one testicle. So,
Yep. Yep.
okay. Okay. If that's what we're using as proof, okay.
Yeah. And just like Jack, I also felt like Lucy knew pretty quickly, like, uh-oh, I think I like you.
Because that's a real man. That ain't a fantasy.
I know, exactly. Exactly. I didn't think their chemistry didn't really pop off until he did the whole leaning thing. And I'm like, is leaning a thing? Like,
I'm glad you asked because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't know if I've ever experienced a lean in before.
no, no. And he's like, you lean with your whole body, and
I mean, I will say that I feel I have a good radar of when, and sorry, y'all, this may be a little too much, when people have slept together because I feel like
hmm,
their dynamics change in terms of like closeness. Like, when
interesting.
people haven't slept together yet, there's a distance. Once people have
Mm,
started doing the deed, that distance evaporates. Like, I can't explain to y'all. I had to figure out a good example and I'll share it at some point in the future. But that I always feel like I've picked up on and noticed. But the lean in thing, I was like, I don't know. I feel like he was just again jealous because he had realized he was feeling her. He was feeling little Lucy.
yep. And he was very protective over her too. Because I think everybody needed protection from Joe Jr. though. So
When he told that girl, Lucy's the best looking girl in the building, she was like, hey, he was like, but you the best looking girl on the third floor. I'm like, is this
and
game, Joe
she
Jr.? This is
expect
game?
she accepted it
He
though. Like,
did. This is game out here in these burbs of Chicago, I guess.
oh. Also, I want to give a shout out to Lucy's black boss. I mean, I feel like he was essentially the black magical Negro
He
of
was
the
her
film
surrogate daddy for sure.
for sure. And
And didn't he give you Morgan Freeman vibes a little
he
bit?
did.
Yeah.
He did. Mr. Jerry Wallace, okay?
Mm.
Oh, he's no longer with us. He passed in 1996. Wow.
Year after the movie came out.
Yeah.
Mm.
I remember seeing him in films through, you
Yep.
know. But I really liked his character because one thing about Lucy that I loved first is that she was well liked in all of her community, in her where she lived, where she worked. People knew her by name. And with her boss, he literally was just listening to her mess and just being like, okay, so what you gonna do next? And who are you doing this with? Like,
Girl. He was the voice of the people.
he
He was
really
reasonable.
was.
But at
He
the same
really was.
time, you were asking about like, did she feed so much into the lie? Oh, God, Daddy, he played the
Listen.
long game, right? He said, don't tell them nothing. Don't
Yes,
tell them I have known these people. I am friends with these people. Keep doing what you're doing, girl. Keep going.
exactly. And that became even more prevalent when Peter wakes up. And
That
when
turnaround when she was like, he woke up. Hold on. I got I gotta get out of here. I gotta go.
But of course, you go from going into a coma, waking up, and having amnesia. That scene was funny to me when, you know, it's the perspective of Peter and he's looking at all these faces and then he sees hers and he goes back and she's like,
And he literally says, "Who are you?"
yeah. And the family was just so invested. They were like, what do you mean? Oh my goodness, something's wrong.
He's got amnesia. The dad, oh my God, he's got amnesia. And then you catch him in the bed and he's saying his ABCs. Like, I think I'm fine.
I'm fine. But Saul, the Godfather, you could tell with his facial expression that his brain was turning. Like, yeah, Lucy is the best thing that's ever happened to you. Like, you'll love her.
He was
you
selling
know,
it.
He was selling it. He's like, if you don't fall back in love in 2 days or whatever the time was, he's like, you'll be missing out. But again, I love how lovable Lucy was in the film.
Well, too, because we end up realizing between the two of them, she's the prize.
She's the prize. Thank you. And we had little inklings of it, of like Peter's character, but his godfather was like, you're an ass.
He said, you're a putz.
You're a putz. It became more and more prevalent when you are introduced to Ashley Bacon.
Damn. Had to be an Ashley.
His real fiance. And she was no walk in the park either. Okay.
She wasn't that man fiance. She turned him down and moved out the country.
Exactly. That also tells you everything you need to know about their relationship dynamic as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they were trying to give, you know how it is, corporate people bad.
But I mean, there's a reality to a type of person like Peter that rang true to me. Like, she had fantasized and thought about this man in one way that's just not real. He's a douchebag in reality.
Yes, exactly.
Just a self-serving douchebag. Just happens to be attractive.
And honestly, shout out to Peter, the actor. I've been watching him on TV for 30 plus years.
Shout out to the OC.
He's a handsome man. And when he was sitting up there in the hospital bed, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is giving major Prince Eric vibes. Like,
you think so?
Just a little bit. I don't think he has blue eyes, or does he? But it's like that dark black hair and those bushy black eyebrows. I was like,
he has brown eyes.
Yeah. But it was giving, you know.
I mean, he definitely has a look, right? Some would describe him as the dark and handsome, even though that's not the way that we would describe him. But yes.
No.
Great head of hair.
Awesome head of hair.
Great head of hair.
So Peter's like, okay, she's my fiance. So my parents love you. So I think I love you too. Or I'll get there. I'll
The original love is blind. The original love is blind, Laura. There you go.
But he was like, I will live the rest of my life figuring out why I love you. Like,
how romantic.
Thank you.
An arranged marriage also.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And yeah, he literally says, I might as well love you. Will you marry me? And then the next thing you'd see is her running out the door. Jack sees Lucy as she prepares for the wedding, and he gives her the sweetest gift. He gives her a snow globe of buildings that are in Florence because he knows that that's what she wants. She wants that stamp on her passport, Ashley. She wants to go to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, you gonna give me a reason
to not marry your brother? This? Yeah.
Why I should not do this? And he said no. And this is where the conversation with her and her boss really was touching, because she was like, I'm getting married tomorrow. Okay. To which one? Which
Also, where
brother?
do you get these invitations from on this short of notice? And what did they look like? Because to me, it looked like a pink slip in the movie. I was like, girl, did you just throw this on a piece of paper?
Exactly. She pretty much was like, he didn't fight for me. So a good looking, wealthy man asked me to marry him, and I'm going to say yes.
We are delusional as human beings because when she said he doesn't want me, I'm like, you can't honestly think that. Like
I
it's
think she wanted
so
him to do more.
obvious though. It's so
Was it?
obvious.
Was it obvious?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He listened when she spoke. Oh my gosh.
He gave her thoughtful gifts, the googly eye. Come on, y'all know when somebody likes you, there's a vibe.
Yeah. Annalene, apparently. Um, the wedding. I think
Disaster.
it was a sign when sis shows up late to her wedding.
And
I
it's
was
in the
like,
chapel of the hospital.
man. I mean, Odu was still tied up to an IV.
Girl,
Like,
girl,
what was the rush? What was the
disaster.
rush for?
That's a great question. That I have no idea why they needed to get married in the chapel of the hospital. People may needed to come in there grieving and we're doing a wedding.
And it's like he was already progressing too. So it wasn't like
He was fine. Release him. He's
exactly.
fine. If it wasn't for him thinking he had amnesia, I'm sure he would have been released the day he woke up.
But
It's if
again,
you think about it, but if you
he
think about
remembered
it,
Ashley Bacon real quick.
exactly. But if
Come
you
on, I
think
want my
about
money
it,
back. I
his
want my
family kept
nose.
him in the hospital for longer than he should have been. Like, that's actually kind of fucked up.
It really was. It
But yeah,
really
he
was.
remembered Ashley on the spot, and that was
On the
hilarious.
spot.
I want that
Yes.
nose back. You can go ahead and give me them boobs back. He said, "No, keep them. I'm a changed man." What?
Again, he was the worst. Had to have been the worst.
Yeah, but also he told his brother, "I've never been faithful to a woman before."
And
Trash.
his brother was spiraling. Like, dude, he walked away. He walked away because he's like, you know what? I'm done with this conversation.
Yeah. When you realize your brother is garbage, what else can you do?
Ashley, the pastor barely got the first lines out before Lucy was like, I object.
Yeah.
And then Jack was like, I object too. He was like, hey, wait, whoa, what?
Why y'all even come today? That would have been my question. Why even have to get out of bed for this?
Oh my gosh. And then she goes into her monologue, I'm in love with your son. And there was a little mix up. It was a little mix up.
Understandably so.
I was never engaged to Peter. And why didn't I say anything? She's like, I fell in love with you all. I
Mm-hmm.
became a fiance, a daughter, and a sister.
Mm-hmm.
This is where my soft heart was like, oh.
Yeah.
Ashley, would you forgive her if you were part of his family?
I think I would definitely forgive her. Like the fact that they gave her the space to speak was lovely because some people would have just heard a portion of it and be like, "Oh hell no," you know what I mean?
And
Like
walk out.
I just
Yeah.
went crazy on her. So the fact they gave her the space to speak, and you got to tell me again another correlation with the proposal. Remember, everything went down at the altar. Like, come on, y'all. Um, I'm glad they gave her the space to speak. And again, knowing Lucy, having gotten the chance to get to know her, I think they knew her heart at that point, knew her intentions were not bad. And that, again, to her point, like she has been lonely. She doesn't have any family. She's lost both of her parents. So it was kind of an irresistible lie to keep up with because of all that she gained and how lovely the family is. So I honestly couldn't blame her as I was watching it this watch. I was like, girl, I think a lot of people would have fed into that lie, honestly.
Yeah. especially if there wasn't much going on before.
Yeah, like again, if all because there's one thing that to be someone who, lives by yourself, whatever. It's another thing to literally not have any family,
Right.
especially during the holidays. Like the holidays are hard if you don't
Yeah.
have the comforts of getting together with your family, cooking, joy of games or whatever your traditions
Right.
are. Like that has
Hmm.
to be so hard. And we don't even get the sense that she has like strong friends either in
Right.
this film. So she truly
Exactly.
does feel like she's alone. So that's hard.
You are correct. You are correct.
So I liked Lucy. I was rooting
I
for
did
her.
too. And this is what really made Sandra Bullock one of the films that made her so endearing. And, America's Sweetheart right after the OG, Julia Roberts.
Yeah. Julia just has a lot of riz though. It's hard to top.
She does. She does. But I feel like Sandra has more of the girl next door aspect of, I feel like I can trust her. I can feel like I can sit down, have some popcorn.
Well, luckily we don't have to choose. We get to have them both.
We get to have I'm just
What a life.
anyway, the film concludes with Lucy quitting her job. She needed a change after everything that went on in those precious weeks between Christmas and New Year's. She wanted a change. And on her last day, Jack and the family shows up with a ring. Now here's the deal. I do feel like that ring was entirely too soon. I was like, y'all still need to figure out how you like your eggs. Another
Julia Roberts
romance. Yeah.
reference.
But it was sweet. It was sweet. And then of course, at the end, they get married, just married. He takes her to Italy for their honeymoon. And Peter asks her one day, when did you fall for Jack? While you were sleeping.
Yo, that's wild.
Ashley.
That's a wild thing to say to somebody. What a line. They made her sound so sweet when she said it, but it's actually fairly diabolical.
It
Like,
really was. It
yeah.
really was. Ashley, what are your final thoughts for while you were sleeping?
We definitely can't forget that it inevitably Ashley was married and that her and her
Yes.
husband showed up at that sham of a wedding.
And Peter
So,
had no shame. He's like, oh, I knew she was married.
like, Peter is a reality show waiting to happen over there. He's been living his best life apparently. So, final thoughts to your point again. This I have not seen this movie in years, but it was again the warm bowl of soup analogy was a great one because I enjoyed like getting to kind of reminisce on this, see this version of Sandy, and again, just try to sink into this holiday season a little bit more as we flow through. So while I don't love, as y'all know, the sibling love triangle dynamic, this one is a little bit I can give a little bit more grace to because it's not like her and Peter were ever together. It's not like he loved her. Like some of these that be so painful when both people really are super invested in that dynamic and want to be with that person and then you have to choose. Like that shit. That's why I will never finish The Summer I Turned Pretty. Because
The show?
yes. And they're
Mhm.
supposedly coming out with a film, but my heart can't take
Yeah.
it. Team Jeremiah forever.
It's a lot of back and forth.
I
I'm
can't do
like,
it because if it worked out the way I wanted it to, maybe I could. But that's it. It just breaks my heart to see siblings torn apart because of love. But it's real. I'm
mhm.
sure it happens every day. Looking at you, Biden family and others, Jackson
Girl,
family. I mean,
we
it's happened a
barely
lot.
talk about that.
It's happened a
Ooh.
lot. Jackson family as well. Okay,
Yeah, I
happens a
know.
lot. So
Yeah.
anyway, not to get back into the pop culture stuff. My final thoughts. If you haven't seen this in a while, go ahead and check it out for free on these internets and enjoy.
Wonderful. And did you have MVP?
I am going to give the MVP of this film to Lucy.
Okay.
There are a lot of characters, again, that caught me. The family was lovely. Sal was fun. The boss was fun. But inevitably, I think Lucy being so endearing as a character is what carried it and what made a lot of stuff believable. And it took somebody, in my opinion, like a Sandra Bullock to have the dynamic that she had in the movie, where even though she's doing stuff that's, deceitful, whatever, you still like you fall in love with her too. So I'll give it to Lucy.
I'm going to do the same. It was a lot of fun. All right. And my final thoughts for the film again, it was a nice, easy watch. I wanted to keep it simple. It's the end of the year. We're trying to ease through to 2026 in one piece. And it was a great time. I enjoyed it. All right, Ashley. If there's nothing else, time for hidden gems.
All right. So, my hidden gems for this week, the first one we already talked about is a part of our headlines on last week. That Sean Combs The Reckoning documentary currently available on Netflix. Again, executive produced by 50 Cent. Petty, petty,
Crazy.
petty, petty, petty. But
Yep.
so eye-opening. Like, again, I know this was produced. I know things can be edited. I know it was a perspective, not necessarily always full truth, but there was a lot to digest as a part of this. Like, obviously, this came on the heels of Diddy being in prison for the charges that he faced with all of the individuals who came out against him for SA, for I think racketeering was a part of his charges, RICO was a part of his charges, and so he got some months in prison, a couple, well, some years that they said it within months. I can't remember if it was 50, something like that. But the idea that this man had filmed during like his time right before he got indicted, and the fact that 50 and that team were able to get that footage is crazy to me.
I
Crazy.
I guess everybody got a price tag because again, I'm surprised
Yes.
Diddy didn't
Where's the
try to.
NDA? Where's the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he was that arrogant. That's what I was have
Ooh.
told people when I've talked about it, is I think he was that arrogant. You think about it, this is like the second, or no, the third major incident. No, the fourth actually.
It sounds about right
Major
for.
incident he's had, and he's been able to really skirt and get through it and not face any major repercussions. So I think he thought this was going to be another one of those situations, and his lawyers and team were going to be able to get him out of it. And it did not work out that way this time. So I think he just didn't cover his bases. And here we are. So that was something. But then we get into, from how he came up to his relationship with Andre Harrell to Tupac and Biggie to like so many things that were just revelatory as a part of it. So I know it's a lot. It can be a lot because again, you're hearing so much that can be traumatizing for people. But if you feel like you can handle it, I think I thought it was, first of all, a very well done documentary, but also like if you have been invested at all in the case, in this man, in his career, because of how big he's been as a part of music and as a part of the culture, it's absolutely worth watching. So that is Sean Combs, The Reckoning on Netflix. My second hidden gem is one I hadn't decided how I felt about this yet, even though I've been watching it. So that's why it hadn't been a hidden gem yet. But Pluribus is a new show, fairly new show on Apple TV Plus, and it is a post-apocalyptic science fiction television series. And it's one that each week you're really trying to figure out what the is going on. The synopsis of it is the most miserable person on earth must save the world from happiness, but it's vague, and it's vague like intentionally because this is a show that you're really trying to figure out what has happened, why has it happened, what can be done about it. There's one main character focus. Her name is Carol, played by Rhea Seehorn, and we're really getting a lot from her perspective. We're with her the most. And it's just fascinating. Like, even I have it up on Google, and there's a constant like thing called "What are you searching for, Carol?" as a question mark, like on Google. This show is so odd, but also I'm invested. Like, I absolutely have to know what's really good. So if you get into like sci-fi, if you are interested in kind of like in I wouldn't say end of world, but like that post-apocalyptic feel, it's definitely one to try to get into. And I've touted the horn of Apple TV Plus for a long time. Everything they make is so cinematic that you're definitely not going to be disappointed, in my opinion, with the quality of the show itself.
How
So
many episodes are there gonna be?
I'm not sure how many there are going to be. Episode 7 is the latest episode that's going to be out at the time that everyone is listening to this episode. So maybe there'll be 8, maybe there'll be 10. But when I tell y'all, it's interesting. If nothing else, it's interesting. I know Rhea Seehorn and I think even the creator have talked about it in interviews. I've kind of avoided them, but they still have been, in my opinion, kind of vague in the interviews. So like
Mm-hmm.
I end up going to Reddit, like going down rabbit holes after I finish the episode to hear like the conspiracy theories people have about what we've seen, what it means. So
You like
yeah, it's
Reddit?
just I I just end up on in Reddit sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
if there's no other source for something, then I'm gonna go down a Reddit rabbit hole. But in this case, I like feedback. Like if I'm really into a show like Severance, I used to read the synopsis, the after show about Severance like weekly. Because when I am really into a show, I want to hear everybody else's thoughts about it too. And so, yeah, it's just kind of, especially for shows like this, again, where it's like there's reason to talk about it and try to figure out what's coming. And this is one of those shows. So that's it. Those are my 2 hidden gems for the week. What about you, Delora?
I have 2 hidden gems as well. The first one isn't quite hidden, but I find this to be the most awesome thing ever. Time magazine has released their, people of the year, and K-pop Demon Hunters is Time's 2025 breakthrough of the year. I just thought this little engine that could essentially, it's like this random concept of an animated film dropping summertime and being the juggernaut that it is, both the film and the music. They featured the singers of the songs, which I think is perfect because it's them topping the charts, going number one multiple weeks. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Going to the box office twice and making a boatload of money. Like, it's just really exciting for me. And I think all this hype is well deserved. It just brings me so much joy. And my second hidden gem is a book that I read recently that I really enjoyed. It is a contemporary romance novel with humor. It's British. It's called, and it's very seasonal because I'm a bit of a mood vibe reader. So like sometimes I want to go into a fae court and figure out what they're talking about. Sometimes I want to, be in New Jersey with the mafia don, you know what I mean? And then sometimes I just want to be in Britain where a young lady is just trying to find a flat and runs into a naked man who's the owner of the flat, and somehow his parent shows up and she has to lie about being his girlfriend. That's what happens. It's a Christmas Fling by Leslie Kelk is a romantic comedy about Laura, who pretends to be the girlfriend of a stranger, Callum, after his parents mistake her for his partner while she's flat sitting for him. And it's just super cute because he's Scottish. And of course, you make your way to Scotland and you find out the little house that he grew up in is like some freaking manor, and there's family drama.
Isn't there
And
always a
honestly,
manner?
always, always. And the family dynamics are just more than what I expected to be. Um, but her friends are a lot of fun as well. And I'm also recommending it because Laura, like Lucy, is alone, and found family is a main trope in this book. And like I said, it was super cute. So those are my hidden gems this week, Ashley.
All right. Well, guys, we are, as I mentioned, a week away from Christmas. So we will have two more episodes to wrap up the year. We're going to do our usual annual best of faves for the year episode as our headlines and hot topics. And then our final recap of the year will be one of the top 5 holiday films on my list, The Preacher's Wife, baby. Break out your DVDs or wherever you may be able to get a copy. The fact that this is not readily available on any of these streamers is a travesty.
It makes no
Okay.
sense. It's up there with the fact that Whitney Houston and Brandy Cinderella doesn't have a soundtrack that you can.
Crazy.
It's insane. Where's the red tape? Let's cut that
Whitney
up.
is the queen of the soundtrack. Come on. So that is how we will wrap up our 2025. Be on the lookout for those episodes as we drop them on our usual Thursday and Tuesday time slots. Looking forward to, again, sinking more into this holiday season and looking forward to 2026. So please share this episode out with everybody you know. We so appreciate all of you guys. We hope that you're having a wonderful holiday season. We will be back, but in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.